Ladies and gentlemen, welcome back to the Front Row Access Podcast. I am your host, Steven Russo.
I am Anthony Gonzalez.
Let's fucking go! Anyway, so Uncle Dana has been absolutely cooking this fucking year, right? He's been giving us banger after banger after banger. Wrong company. But if you know, you know. We got UFC 295 this weekend, headlined by Yuri Prochazka and Alex Pereira for the vacant light heavyweight championship, because the light heavyweight division is just a mess, and, we can't ever fix it. Hopefully this fight fucking fixes it. But I don't know if that'll happen. And in the co-main event, we have Tom Aspinall versus Sergey Pavlovich for the interim heavyweight championship, because the original main event for this was supposed to be Jon Jones versus Stipe Miocic. We'll get into that later on. But let's just say, technical difficulties occurred, and, now that fight got scrapped. We'll get more into detail with that right now, actually, because that's the start of this podcast. Because, as you guys know, I write effortless notes for you instead of doing my homework at college. So,
Hey, listen, what's more important? Keeping up your hobbies or college?
Well, I mean, do you want the answer that my parents would give me, or my personal answer?
No, we'll just let them figure it out.
Okay, yeah, drop it in the comments. Alrighty, so, before we get into it, though, you know what we gotta do. You know. You've been here enough times by now. Pepsi hit us up. We got Mountain Dew Classic with us today. Also, I'm gonna try to put my line in different lines into the pool. I got Prime. Logan Paul hit me up. KSI hit me up. And then, of course, I just have a water bottle over here. I don't need a sponsorship from water. But, Pepsi, Pepsi, Logan Paul, help me out here. Anyway, so.
Water's in case of rambling. We've been known to go on and on and on.
Like we're doing right now. Anyway.
What was our longest podcast? Was it 2.5 before it was cut?
About 2.5, yeah. I think that was the Linkin Park one. Anyway, we still got to continue that. Holy fuck.
Yeah.
Anyway, let's get into UFC 295. Anyway, so, originally, this pay-per-view was supposed to be headlined by the GOAT, Jon Jones. Not my GOAT, but everybody is saying he's the GOAT, so GOAT. Just to stop y'all in the comments. Anyway, so it was supposed to be the GOAT, Johnny Bones Jones, defending his heavyweight championship against the greatest heavyweight champion of all time in Stipe Miocic. Unfortunately, while training one night, about maybe 2 weeks ago, Jon Jones was wrestling, and his little pec went pop. Right off the bone, Cody Rhodes style, but except he didn't do it on a bench press. I love you, Cody Rhodes. Anyway, he did it while he was wrestling. So, yeah. He's going to be out for 8 months. I think he already had his surgery. It's recovering now, but he's going to be out for at least 8 months. And, guys, I mean, that's not 8 months until he fights again. That's 8 months until he get back into the gym. So, it's safe to say we're not going to see Johnny Bones Jones for another year. But,
I just thought of inappropriate things to say that I probably shouldn't say. Just a question. You have to be clean 6 months before testing, right?
According to USADA, yeah, but I mean, I don't know how the UFC is going to do it now that USADA isn't going to be the UFC's anti-doping partner come next year.
Minimum 8 months off.
Minimum 8 months off. Yeah.
Party
hardy. He's probably going to go and do some coke. He's going to do some cocaine, maybe go run over a couple more pregnant ladies. Anyway, I think you can safely see how I feel about Jon Jones. Anyway.
Yeah, drugs are bad.
Yeah, drugs are bad. Drugs bad, okay. My fucking Mr. Mackey impression.
I mean, South Park does have that thing coming out later, but you know what? Maybe we should do something on the animated series.
That's a great idea. I'd love to talk about Death Note on here, or South Park, or Family Guy, or Rick and Morty, or anything.
There's literally a crap ton of things.
Or SpongeBob. I'll even talk about SpongeBob on here. That won't be for the kiddos. This one's not for the kiddos. YouTube, yeah, you heard me. This one's not for the kiddos. Anyway. So yeah, Jones tore his pec. He's going to be out for 8 months, and that's 8 months to get back into the gym. So, yeah, he's not going to fight probably for another year. And, Jon Jones is known for doing this, though, guys. Come on, let's be honest.
Which means we're going to need an interim.
We got to need an interim champion for a champion that's going to sit out for over a year, even though if you're a champion and you don't fight in a year, I think you should just be stripped. But that's me.
Hey, Islam. Stripped if you're half a pound overweight, too.
That's true, but, you're not the champion of the 155.5 division. Yeah, it's still fucking dumb, though. It's half a pound, bro. The fuck? did my boy Charlie Olives dirty with that shit.
We went over that, though. We've been down that road before.
Plenty of times. It's one of the common issues that we constantly bring up, and I'm sure you guys are totally sick of that. But anyway, it's going to be at least a year before he fights again. Now, this begs the question, guys. Both John Jones and Stipe Miocic, they're not in their younger days.
They are past their...
They're past their prime. And, we're just going to keep that there just so Logan Paul gets some screen time because I want that money. Anyway, congrats on your United States Championship win, Logan.
Yeah, wow.
I did not expect you to be Rey Mysterio, but you did. I'm just totally kidding. I totally predicted that Logan Paul would win that match. Huh.
I'm just saying, our predictions with UFC don't run as clean as the WWE ones, so
Dude, I only missed 2. Dude, if you watched the last podcast on our last MMA episode, with our last UFC talk, dude, every single fighter that we picked fucking lost. So, yeah. Volk got flatlined in round 1. Goddamn daggies. And then Usman didn't beat Chimaev, so now Chimaev's still running his fucking mouth.
I will say, though, it was a unique experience to see that fight card go down, because Usman was the only one who went the distance.
He was. And I bet you if he had 2 more rounds, he would have beat Hansa.
Oh, yeah.
If he had 2 more rounds.
Wasn't looking that good towards the end.
No, not at all. But anyway, enough with the old pay-per-view. That's done in the past, and I wish to forget about it.
Did we do anything about the boxing?
Oh, yeah, Francis Ngannou and Tyson Fury also happened. We didn't do any episodes on that. Time just was not on our side that week.
Yeah.
But Ngannou and Tyson Fury stepped in the ring.
Should we just very quickly go over what we thought about that?
Yeah, sure. Ngannou got robbed.
Yeah, definitely.
I got right to the point. Great fight. Ngannou got robbed. He made MMA look great that night, though. He did MMA justice that night. And, because, the boxers are always like, oh, yeah, you're stepping the ring. Yeah, we're going to kick your ass. Yeah. Ngannou knocked down Tyson Fury. He is the long-standing heavyweight boxing champion. I don't think he's undisputed yet, but he definitely has 2 of the 3 that he needs.
Do you think if it had gone another 2 rounds for the full 12 that Ngannou would have had it, or...?
Oh, Tyson Fury was wilting, bro. But so was Ngannou. He was breathing through his mouth. They were both 2 tart heavyweights, quite literally. And, so I don't know. I think the fight should have gone 12 because, why not throw the MMA fighter and the boxer in there for the whole 12 just to truly see how the MMA fighter is going to do. But let's just say, man, Ngannou looked great that night.
It was a great fight.
It was a great fight.
I don't watch boxing.
Neither do I. Neither do I. I do very loosely.
I paid less attention than he does, and I think that was a great fight.
It was tremendous.
Between the 2, I would think that the MMA has better cardio because they're doing more things at the same time, so I think he would have outlasted him towards the end there, but we won't get to know that.
Yeah, because he got robbed because it went to decision, and I'm be honest, boxing's one of those industries that's very slimy in nature and not very fair. They definitely put all their chips on one guy, and they're gonna make sure that one guy wins. Which is a hole that I pray and hope to God UFC isn't going down. But with these fucking decisions that we've gotten lately, man, I don't know.
Mike Bell, I hate you. Anyways.
Mike Bell, we hate you.
Bringing it back to MMA, do you think that with John Jones being out for how long as he's going to be, that Ngannou might show up again? I think that Dana's going to be like, you can flip
him.
But, if you're looking for a heavyweight champion... I don't know what he's got going on.
You see, I'm pretty sure, Dana gave his props to Ngannou, which I'm very happy that he did. I didn't know if he would or not, because let's just be honest here, Dana's a very petty man, and he will do any and everything to make sure that he shines. Look at what happened when Ngannou announced that he was going to box Tyson Fury back in July. He ended up dropping the 291 card, which ended up being an absolute banger with Tony Ferguson, Bobby Green, Dustin Poirier, Justin Gaethje, Jarek Lewis, and the other dude that he fucking killed. And then he fucking Delima. I know that was his last name.
Still.
Yeah, he's still. He said that his teeth are still loose from that.
Yeah, I believe it.
I'll believe it.
And when you see the guy coming at you, you're like, This ain't working out.
Dude, I'm like that was on weigh-ins. That was a 266 whole wad of fucking man coming at you.
That's a ballistic missile.
That was 266 pounds worth of man coming at you. And let me tell you, I don't think Mr. Derek Lewis was 266 pounds when he did the flying knee. I'm pretty sure he was like close to 300. But nah, Delima's still sleeping. He's with Dustin Poirier and Alexander Volkanovski in the Shadow Realm. But
Smallest violin.
Anyway, so yeah, I don't know if Ngannou will ever come back. I mean, they debated for months. Ngannou was already not a very active fighter to begin with, so I really don't think the UFC will bring him back. But if he does, the biggest what if of MMA would be Ngannou versus Jon Jones, because I mean, let's be honest, guys. That's the fight. That's the fight. That's the fight that's gonna determine who the truly is the baddest motherfucker. Because
hate to cut you off. We gotta keep rolling. This is a large card that we gotta talk about, and there's a lot of shit that was cooked up too.
Yeah, this is gonna be a long
Back
one,
on
guys.
track.
We're already
gone out of it. He's boxing MMA. He's over there somewhere. Well, gonna get back to that.
He's doing the punchies. Anyway, so with Jon Jones and Stipe being out, they are past their prime, as we mentioned. I mean, they both have done it all. They both have accomplished everything that there is to do in UFC. They're both champions. They're both defended their championships. They're both considered to be some of the greatest of their kind. And, I mean, let's be honest, Jon Jones is 36. He ain't young anymore. Neither is Stipe Miocic. That dude's 41. And he hasn't fought in 2 years since he got destroyed by Ngannou. I think they're still trying to find his head after that bullshit. Anyway, but, Jon Jones only fought one time in 3 years. Yeah, like, I honestly wouldn't be surprised that if both of them hang it up in this 9-month year break period. Because, like, to be honest, there isn't really much for them to do besides fight each other. I mean, that's just a legacy fight right there. And let's be honest, when that fight happens, all the more so with this Jon Jones injury, that's gonna be the last one. I'm pretty sure. I mean, Jon Jones is the one that could keep going, but I can almost guarantee you that'll be Stipe's last one. Depending if he wins or loses. It doesn't matter. If he wins, he can go off in history and be like, not only am I the greatest heavyweight, but I beat the greatest of all time. Stipe Miocic, the GOAT. Right? And then Jon Jones, I mean, he's probably going to go fucking off his ass in cocaine and then, forget that he's an MMA fighter for a second and be like, oh shit, I don't want to be an MMA fighter anymore, and then just hangs it up right there. But, anyway, a lot of people know about Jon Jones. You guys, I don't need to discuss Jon Jones for very long. Y'all know.
I knew about Jon Jones before getting into MMA too.
Yeah, y'all know who Jon Jones is. And this one knew who he was before going into it. A lot of people know who he is. But a lot of people don't know about Stipe. I mean, MMA fans, we know about Stipe. We love Stipe for doing Stipe things. Anyway, so Stipe is considered to be the greatest heavyweight champion of all time. He has a total of 6 title fight wins, and he's been a champion twice. He's a 2-time heavyweight champion.
Is that just Stipe doing Stipe things?
That was just Stipe doing Stipe things. A dude was known for knocking people out and also being a pretty good wrestler. So guy was pretty well versed. But he beat Fabricio Verdum, who was an absolute killer at that time period, like 2016 era. He was like just a good champion, and then he beat him. He knocked him out. And then that's how he won the first belt in 2016. He defended it 3 more times, beating the likes of Alistair Overeem. I know you guys know him. Because his neck got sent to the fucking orbit by Ngannou. And then he beat Junior Dos Santos. That's another big name in the heavyweight division, especially at that time. And then he even beat Francis Ngannou one time. And, then he lost the belt in 2018 to Daniel Cormier when Daniel Cormier became double champ. And then he won it back from DC in the rematch for the second belt for his 2-time heavyweight champion. Then he beat DC again in the trilogy fight. He beat DC, guys. He beat DC.
Could he get a double leg on DC though?
I think he might have. I'd have to go back and watch the fight. But but Stipe beat him twice. And that's a big accomplishment because we all know who Daniel Cormier is. And Daniel Cormier is one of the greatest fighters to ever fucking do it. And, well, he fucked shit up in both the 205 division and the 200s and the heavyweight division. So, I mean, he beat him twice. Sure, he got knocked out in round 1 by DC in that first fight, but, you know, it's just a fluke, guys. He just didn't show up that day.
If he had shown up that day.
If he had shown up that day.
Different story.
And then after beating DC on August 19th, 2020, because I remember watching that fight, actually, and he lost the belt to Francis Ngannou in their rematch when he got uppercutted and sent to the fucking gates of heaven. So, you know, and, you know, I don't got to go over John Jones, but fuck it, I'm going to go over John Jones again. He's beaten everybody. He's only lost once, and it was because of a DQ in a fight that he was dominating when he threw a fucking 12-6 elbow, even though that's fucking dumb. How come I can't throw this when I could generate so much power going like this? Like, I don't know, man. MMA rules don't make sense sometimes. But, you know, he lost because he threw that elbow, and that guy probably has the biggest bragging rights ever. I beat John Jones! Even though.
And he had one that was, what, Andy or noticed.
Oh yeah, he had a no contest against Daniel Cormier in their second fight.
A substance was.
Because there was a estrogen blocker in his system that shouldn't have been there. It was a picogram of it, but it was still
It was where it shouldn't have been.
It was still in there. I mean, a picogram is tiny, guys. That's tinier than a microgram, and a microgram is probably the smallest measurable unit that they put on like bottles and shit. And it's smaller than that. But I mean, it's really not that much. But I know John Jones has been protesting to get that no contest off of his record. But I'll be honest, man, he still took it. He just tried to time it so that it wouldn't be in the system. I honestly think when people say John Jones is the GOAT, they got to put an asterisk next to it. This guy's had so many problems. John Jones would be the GOAT if he had just done what he was supposed to do in the octagon and was a halfway decent citizen outside of it. But it's the PED use, it's the cheating, it's the eye pokes, it's the domestic abuse charges, it's the assault charges, it's the PED. I already said PEDs, but we're gonna say it again. It's the PEDs, it's the cocaine. John Jones' behavior outside of the, because I can already guarantee you, man, some of those fights that he won, he was definitely juiced up. And you know, I honestly think there should be an asterisk right there. My GOAT is GSP, by the way. Y'all don't know that yet, but my GOAT is GSP. And I think he did the most and should be considered the GOAT. But, you know, John Jones is the GOAT. If we're talking purely in-ring ability, yes. John Jones is the best. He has a better fight IQ. But it's his shit outside the octagon that I just can't count.
Sorry, gotta get another one, man. What about CM Punk?
What about CM Punk? Yo, bro, he gonna hit that GTS on them motherfuckers. And pin him for the 3 count just to realize, oh shit, the fight doesn't end after that. And nobody's gonna willingly get put up in a fireman's carry for that long, and just for you to let them down and knee them in the face. Oh, fucking! Speaking of CM Punk, he said to come back for a Survivor Series. Yes. I don't know if that's true or not, but it's looking a whole lot more true the more and more I read into it, and I'm like, okay, this is gonna be fucking nuts.
We'll let you know more about it when we get close to it.
Yes, sir. That's more.
We still got more to go.
We still got more to go.
We're talking on 2 fighters right now.
But yeah, that's John Jones. He's got notable wins over DC, Lyoto Machida, fucking Chael Sonnen, you know, undefeated, undisputed, never lost a round.
Yep.
And fucking who else did he beat? He beat Chael. He beat Anderson Silva. No, he did not fight Anderson Silva. Or did he? Fuck, I don't even know. He beat Anthony Smith. He beat Dominic Reyes. The record speaks for itself. John Jones is the greatest in the octagon.
That's right.
So, anyway. So, in place of this heavyweight championship fight that completely and totally fell through on the most unfortunate of circumstances, Uncle Dana got in the kitchen again. And he started cooking. And he cooked good. He made the co-main event the main event. We'll get more to that later. But then he made a co-main event interim heavyweight championship fight between Tom Aspinall, the fucking British bruiser, and fucking Sergey Pavlovich, the scary motherfucking Russian. That is just, these are 2 of the most active heavyweights. I mean, obviously, I shouldn't say most active, seeming as Tom Aspinall was out for about a year due to his torn ACL. But when his ACL wasn't torn, he was always fighting. And then Sergey Pavlovich, I tend to see him fight at least 3 times a year, 2 times a year. So these guys are absolute workhorses. They're absolutely like savages in the biggest and baddest division in the UFC, and I couldn't think of a better fight for this interim championship than
so
them
you're
two.
saying Dana took some lessons from Walter White on cooking?
Yes. But, it's just normal ingredients.
Yeah.
And, this fight's crazy. So, both of these fighters are coming off of wins. Both of them have looked unstoppable, and it seems as though they've been on a crash course to meet each other at some point throughout their entire, their short but rather impactful careers. Obviously, Aspinall had the injury, but I bet if he didn't have the injury, he would have fought 2 more times that year. Maybe 1 more time. I don't know. It was July when it happened. So maybe 1 more time. Then he would have been at the beginning of this year, and then when he fought back in July this past summer, like summer 2023, that would have made 2 fights. Unfortunately, that's not how it played out. But Tom Aspinall is coming off a big win after a year out due to that ACL tear. And he's a very well-rounded fighter, and he has a 100% finish rate. Every single fight this man has been in and has not gone past the second round, I'm pretty sure. And it could have even been the first round. I could be being very conservative there. But he's a very well-rounded fighter. You want him to knock you out? He'll knock someone out. That dude's got fucking power. If you want him to wrestle you, he'll wrestle. You want him to submit, he'll submit. The dude is an absolute fucking nutbag. And he's honestly looked like a fighter that could compete with John Jones, purely because they're both well-rounded. They both got good fight IQs, and they're both big guys. And Aspinall, I think, actually has the best case to beat Mr. John Jones, but
You said this is light heavyweight, right?
This is heavyweight.
Oh,
These are the big boys.
Okay.
These the big boys that we talking about right now. Yeah, the big boys are the co-main event. Usually the big boys are the main event to the light heavyweights, but unfortunately, since this one's for an interim belt and not an undisputed championship, which I honestly think it should be. If I'm gonna be honest, guys, this is probably whoever you see win this fight, you should consider to be the undisputed champion. I'm gonna be honest. That's how well crafted of a fight this is and how impactful I think it can be, because this is the young guns. These are the new blood. These are the hungry motherfuckers that want to beat motherfuckers up. I mean, Stipe and Jones, yes, legendary, both of them, but they're both old. They both only have a couple fights left in them, and let's be honest, they ain't active either. Stipe hasn't fought in 2 years. John Jones once in 3. And if I'm gonna be honest, if you want to look at people that are actually running the heavyweight division, it's those 2 guys right there. And you should be considering this, whoever wins this fight, as the undisputed champion, because if I'm going to be honest, I think the likelihood of John Jones coming back after this is very low. I mean, this could just be pessimistic thinking, but I think the likelihood of John Jones coming back after this is very low. And,
You're talking about this like Sean O'Malley when you're saying the new blood moving in.
Oh, we'll get to Sean O'Malley later. He got a big fight announced, and we'll get to that at the end of this, though. But, I still think Aljo should get a rematch, though. I don't think... Alright, I'm going to spoil the end of the episode. Chito Vera is slated to fight Sean O'Malley at UFC 299 in March. But, if I'm going to be honest, guys, I was there. I was live with Sean O'Malley when he won the belt. It was awesome. I wanted O'Malley to win the belt. But here's the thing. I think the stoppage was a little... maybe a little premature. I mean, yes, Aljo was getting his face pounded in, but he still seemed like he was there. I mean, if he had eaten, maybe 5 more shots, I think he deserves a rematch, but UFC's going to bury Aljo. But, I mean, good. Anyway.
You didn't like his soda rain?
No. Back to this, though. So, if I'm going to be honest, if Tom Aspinall wins this, I think he could beat John Jones, but, I don't know if John Jones is going to come back. I don't think he will. And, that's all there is with Tom Aspinall. But, of course, I've been hyping him up. I've been stroking his cock this whole time. But, nah. There's this other motherfucker that's across the way from him. Ain't one scary motherfucker. This dude is Sergey Pavlovich. This dude's... Literally, the first note that I wrote on here is this dude's fucking scary. Because he is fucking scary. Because this dude is fucking scary. He has KO'd everyone that's been put in front of him. And his fights have not gone past the first round. I think he's only been in recently. I think he's only been the decision once. And I forget who it was against. It was probably against some grappler. But I forgive me, I don't have all the knowledge. I have knowledge, but I don't have all the knowledge. And but this dude has been KOing every high name heavyweight and every single motherfucker that's put across the octagon from him. And he does it in round 1. And just recently, he KO'd the shit out of Curtis Blades. When do you see Curtis Blades not the one that ends up dominating the whole fucking fight? And because, you know, he's just got that good wrestler. He's just that good a wrestler. He KO'd the shit out of Derek Lewis. And then he also KO'd the fucking shit out of Tai Tuivasa. That's like every single like well-known heavyweight right there that he has just said, fuck you, to.
It's going down round 1.
It's going down in round 1. I'm telling you, this guy has not. I don't think this guy knows what wrestling is. I'm gonna be honest. He just comes out and he's fucking swinging, man. His head's down and he's just swinging, man. He's just coming at you, just throwing straight technique at you. There's no setups, there's no feints, there's no nothing. Bro just goes in there and blitzes. Bro says, that is target, I kill target.
Charge.
Charge. And, you know, this guy is fucking crazy. And here's the thing, he can do it. He's just like Francis Ngannou. He's got power. He touches you, you fucking die.
It's reminding me of God damn it, I just had the analogy in my head too. I'll get back to it. I've been up since like 2:30. Don't mind me.
Very sorry, Anthony, that I had to drag
That's actually
you
what
all
the
the way
UI wants. It's not for this. This is actually really interesting. But yeah, that's what it is. The coaches are probably like, "Hey, you want to try wrestling or grappling?"
No.
I go forward.
I go forward. I throw hook. I throw hooks.
Or you know, in case grappling, you know. Just,
I throw hook. Yes. I blitz and throw hook. Yes.
Okay. It's your turn to get in the ring with him. I took the hit yesterday.
Dude, do you see me? I'm 5'7" and 135 pounds. Dude, that man touches me, I'm fucking dying. Dude, that's it. Like, I'm fucking done your rings. When that goes down, I'm fucking gone garzo beans. Like, dude, I'm deaded. Like, the Pepsi wouldn't be able to give me their sponsorship anymore because I'm fucking dead.
It's you. He'll go to your IV. Don't worry. I'll get you the Mountain Dew.
Put the Mountain Dew in my veins. I run off of Mountain Dew. If I don't have it, I die. Anyway, so Sergey Pavlovich, very powerful, very scary, and I'm honestly very frightened for Tom Aspinall because I like Tom Aspinall. I want him to win, and I think he can win. Here's the thing, he needs to stay the fuck away from him, though. He either needs to stay away from him or be all the way in. If I'm going to be honest here. So, the key to victory for Mr. Tom Aspinall is he needs to be defensively sound. If he's not ducking, slipping, and rolling, bro, he's dead. If he is not trying to stay on the back, on like the outside of the octagon, like giving up center, but staying alive, because this guy is going to march right at him. I can almost guarantee you Sergey Pavlovich is going to do what he's done to everyone else. He's going to go right at you, and he's going to march at you with the might of fucking Zeus. And he's going to like...
Might of all of Motherland.
With the might of all of Motherland with a little tiny hint from Zeus. This is what this motherfucker's coming at you with. And if Tom Aspinall isn't on his fucking bicycle, moving away from his power, slipping, ducking, and rolling, and fucking looking...
Let him tire himself a bit, you know?
Let him tire himself out. Use his front kicks. Use his jab to keep him the fuck away. This is how Tom Aspinall wins the fight. Because I can guarantee you Pavlovich can only do that for so long. But here's the thing. If you're not defensively sound and he touches you, you're dead. I don't care who you are. You're dead. And so if Tom Aspinall can be as elusive as possible, and if he can get on his fucking bicycle, use those long strikes, because he's a long rangey guy. I think he actually might have the reach advantage going into this. If he uses his jab, keeps him on the outside like that, uses the lead front kick to the body, especially because that's going to hurt his gas tank, then I think he can survive round 1 and then go for maybe not even survive all of round 1, half of round 1. Because I can almost guarantee you Sergey's going to tire himself out if he can't get that fucking blitz. And maybe in the second half of round 1, Tom Aspinall gets a takedown. Then what?
I charge upwards.
I cannot charge upwards. Help me.
Gravity, no!
And then you got fucking Habib in the corner like, you should have done wrestling. You should have grappled. I don't care. Now he's smash. Anyway, I feel like Khabib would be like, he did not want to grapple. I don't even think he knows Khabib. He trains at American Top Team. So, I mean, he doesn't even know Khabib, but I know Khabib was probably trying to be like, you want to grapple?
No, I charge.
You don't want to grapple. You don't want to grapple. And then... Change formula. Because we all know Khabib's out in this fucking lab going...
Undefeated? Save.
So, anyway. That's Sergey Pavlovich and the rundown. But I honestly think Tom Aspinall could win this shit if he does that. But here's the thing. If he can't do that, Sergey Pavlovich is going to be your interim champion. And that'll be that. Tom Aspinall's stock's going to go... I mean, he just came back. I mean, he's got a whole country behind him, sure. He's got the Englishman, but, like, if I'm going to be honest, he loses to Pavlovich in, like, the biggest stage. He's going to deflate a little bit.
This is MSG, right?
Yeah. I'm not at MSG this year for the fights. I was at MSG last year for the fights when Pereira beat fucking Israel Adesanya for the championship, and when Dustin Poirier beat Michael Chandler, and when Weili Zhang won the belt from Carla Esparza. That was a great card. Loved it. UFC 281. Y'all see me wearing the shirt in some of these podcasts. I'm wearing it underneath this, but it's cold, so, got this weather. But speaking of Alex Pereira, he's in the main event. But before we get to the main event, Anthony, how you think this fight's going? And who you got winning? I got Tom. I got faith.
So, when I see these two, I think Tom's gonna get caught off guard. I think he could do it if he does keep the distance advantage. But considering I've yet to see much affect this guy, I don't think Tom's got this. I really don't.
Yeah, he's probably gonna die. I'm probably wishful thinking over here. But
like that dude's powerful.
Dude just fucking touches you and you just die. And speaking of people that touch you and die, Alex Pereira versus Jerry Prochazka. Anyway, so this is our main event. It was supposed to be the co-main event to Jon Jones and Stipe. Unfortunately, we didn't know the story though. So, Alex Pereira, the ultimate fucking hater. Anyway, I have this running joke, right? Fucking Izzy retires from MMA, decides to pick up golf. Fucking the next day, Alex Pereira's gonna be there with a 9-iron. If Israel Adesanya ever has a kid and that kid has 11-8 stand, one of Alex Pereira's kids is opening up 11-8 stand next door.
Right across the street.
Right across the street. This guy is so fucking spiteful. Let me recap the story for you real quick, right? So, yeah, Alex Pereira. He's the former middleweight champion of the world. He beat Israel Adesanya at MSG November 2022. Crazy fight. Great fight. He was getting dominated, and then he just came from behind in the last round, TKO'd Izzy. It was nuts. I got to witness it. Of course, I was rooting for Izzy. But, you see, I had to respect the drive. He was like, this is the last round. I'm behind on these cards. I probably only won round 2. I need to knock this motherfucker out. I know I can knock this motherfucker out because I've knocked this motherfucker out before. And now I'm just going to go in there and I'll do it again. So, yeah. These two have fought 4 times, Izzy and Pereira. Right? Their first time was in kickboxing. It was close decision. Close decision. Some people could have scored it for fucking Izzy. But they gave it to Alex. Second fight, there was no doubt. Alex Pereira, left hook from fucking hell. Flatlines Adesanya. You needed an oxygen mask, AMTs, everything in the fucking ring. Third fight, MMA. Izzy Adesanya won the first round. Lost the second round. Then wrestled him for 2 rounds. Was beating him in the 5th round. And then got caught at the end. Lost his title. Dunyan rings. And then they fought a 4th time. Back in April 2023 this year. On night before Easter. Fucking Israel Adesanya is the challenger, which I'm pretty sure this is just a new mythical fighter, guys. And the new 5-star mythical fighter in UFC 5 is Contender Izzy. Okay? And whenever this motherfucker's a contender, he beats everybody. When he's the champ, well, and not only does he beat everybody when he's contender, he finishes people when he's contender. But when he's champion, yeah, he'll win. But most of the time it's decisions, alright? A couple finishes here and there for the guys that are real assholes like Paulo Costa. But, here's the thing. Izzy comes in. He's Contender Izzy again. Alex Pereira took his belt in his sport. First round. Lost that shit. Totally fucking blew that first round. Second round, was losing that shit. Played some fucking possum shit against the ropes. Not the ropes, the cage. Against the fucking cage. Wham! Came right at him with a right, the same right that he cracked him with in MSG just a year prior. Not even a year prior, like 8 months prior. And then fucking left hook of his own, and then one mighty hammer fist to just put the nail in the coffin. Dude whipped out the bow, shot 1, 2, 3 arrows into Alex Pereira for every single time he lost. It was fucking badass. Just for him to lose it to Sean Strickland in September. But hey, man, not taking anything away from Strickland. He beat the fuck out of Izzy in that fight.
What did we say? Contender Izzy, mythical creature.
Champion
creature. Izzy,
beatable. Hard to beat, but beatable. Hard to beat, but beatable is champion Izzy.
Also wins by decision than by knockouts.
Yes.
So.
But fucking
Strickland went for the knockout.
Yeah, well, here's the thing. Strickland didn't finish him, though. But, I mean, he was very close to finishing him in round 1.
Like 2 moments.
Yeah, gave him, like, maybe a minute more of just wailing on Izzy. He would have finished Izzy. But you see how fucking all Sean Strickland did was front kick and 1-2, and he won the fucking middleweight title. That's it. Yeah. It's the basics, guys. That's it.
Never doubt or get away from the basics.
He did.
They're there for a reason.
He just did slips. He did slips and rolls, 1-2s and front kicks, and he won the championship. What more needs to be said? And plus, with Sean Strickland with that belt, man. Oh man.
As he said in the post-match interview, he was expecting more.
Yeah, he said I expected more out of the guy. It's like, dude is like the ultimate of right trailer trash, and like here he is.
Fair, in that fight, we watched it. Obviously, we watched all of these. I don't think I've missed one since like middle of last year. Mm-hmm. But I think I was actually in Wisconsin for that one, and we still streamed it. To be honest, with that one, just like when Jones got the title, I didn't like the way Izzy started it. For some reason, when they're in the ring with these guys who they have a decent shot with, more so, against freaking Strickland than against Jones, because Jones is that guy.
Jones is that guy.
That guy. But more so with him, when they start on their back foot, when they're defending,
it's not a good look.
Instantly, I lose all confidence in the fight.
It doesn't look good. If you're instantly on your back foot and submitting to getting pressured, that's not good, man.
Especially against someone you can take.
Yeah. You know? I mean, Strickland, that's just how he fights, man. He's a pressure, high-volume fighter. And that's all he does. Does he have all the power in the world? No. But does he have volume? Fuck yeah, he does. And then, all he had to do is he just caught Izzy clean in that first round. And then after that first round, Izzy wasn't the same. Izzy was looking good until he got knocked down. Once he got knocked down, that was it. He was on his back foot the whole fight. And then, Strickland yelling at him, "I'm going to take your belt." And, of course, the whole build-up to the fucking fight was hilarious. No man that beats off the cartoon's going to beat me. and dude sent the fucking power of freedom on him. A power of redneck freedom. And just destroyed the fuck out of Izzy the whole fight.
He's still trying to get that kill under his belt.
Yeah. For those of y'all that don't know, Mr. Sean Strickland has gone on record for saying that he wants to have the first confirmed kill in the octagon. Isn't that scary? He scared Alex Pereira. Alex Pereira flatlined him in that fight, but he scared him. How do you scare Alex Pereira? I guess you just be a fucking trailer redneck and say you want to kill somebody and be American, and then all of a sudden a Brazilian can touch you and you die and be like, I don't know about this guy. And
America personified? Oh.
He's America personified. What am I gonna do? And then, he touched. Strickland fought Pereira the same way he fought Izzy and the same way he fought everyone else. Instantly on the gas. Going forward, you just left his chin way out, and when you leave your chin out for Alex Pereira, he's like, "Oh, left hook, yes!" And then down went Strickland. And here's the badass thing, though: Strickland went and trained with Pereira so he could beat Izzy. Isn't that fucking great?
Well, Pereira's like the personification of pettiness when it comes to...
He really is. I gotta respect it, though. I'll be honest. I mean, there's no way I could be that petty. It's like, no, there's no way. I can be petty. Don't get me wrong. But I can't be that petty. Like, speaking of which, so we're just going to get into Alex Pereira right now. We've already been talking up a little bit about him. But he fought Jan Blachowicz in his light heavyweight championship debut after getting knocked the fuck out by Izzy. Alright? So here's what he did, right? Izzy moved up to light heavyweight. I don't know if y'all remember. There was a time that Izzy moved up to light heavyweight and tried to get double championship because he was just beating everybody.
I saw him on that UFC you got there. So.
Yep. So there he was, right, doing his thing. And he's like, I want that light heavyweight belt. So then he went up to light heavyweight. Standing champion at that time was Jan Blachowicz, right? Jan Blachowicz beat Izzy. He wrestled him, and he even beat him on the feet a couple times. But his main key to victory was he wrestled him. And Izzy on the ground it's not that great. I mean, jiu-jitsu purple belt, sure, but like, when does he train jiu-jitsu? I look at his ears; they're not very cauliflowered. So yeah, he got wrestled to death. So Alex Pereira moves up to light heavyweight after losing to Izzy, right? He goes, okay, I lost to Izzy. I still beat him 3 other times. Fuck it. Alright? Doesn't phase me anymore. I was a champion in one division. I was champion in middleweight. Now I'm going to start trying to become a champion in light heavyweight. This motherfucker goes in there against Jan Blachowicz in his debut. UFC 291? No, is it 291? Yeah, I think it was 291. Fuck. Hang on. Let me check. Hold on. Google to the rescue. Oh my goodness. Oh my gosh. Oh my god. How do you spell Pereira? There we go. I always fuck that up. Anyway, so yeah, it was 291. It's the co-main event. Right before Dustin got flatlined. But you know, he went up to light heavyweight in his debut, and he beat the guy that beat Izzy at light heavyweight. Just to spite him. Just to spite him. And now here he is, fighting for the light heavyweight championship belt against Yuri Prochazka. These two wild men in a fucking octagon. God damn it, Logan Paul. Why do you make your bottle so hard to open? Anyway. Still love your product, though. Oh, that's good. Anyway. So, Alex Pereira moves up. Beats Jan Blachowicz. A couple of people would have scored it for Jan Blachowicz. And I could see why. It was a close fight. Very close fight. I personally scored it for Jan Blachowicz. But, you know, I could totally see how you give it to Alex Pereira. It was one of those fights where you're just like...
Some decisions make sense. Some don't.
Anyway.
I'm looking at you, Mike Bell. I'm looking at you, whoever was in the boxing. Whoever those guys were. Some of them, you can argue either way. Some of them, there's no excuse for. Simple as that. I might have been out of dew.
You had to go get more. We paused the whole podcast so we can get more dew.
Yes.
Love that. Anyway. So, Alex Pereira beats Jan Blachowicz in a decision. He beat the guy that beat Izzy. The only other person to beat Israel Adesanya before Sean Strickland was Jan Blachowicz and Alex Pereira. So, 2 people that beat Izzy. He fought the other dude that beat Izzy, and he beat him. Just to spite him. Fucking glorious. Izzy doesn't like his Monster sponsorship. What does Alex Pereira do? Signs a dotted line for Monster. This guy just like, whatever you do, I do better. I gotta respect it. I mean, shit. I could never be that persistent. I really can't be. And,
unless it's for that sponsorship, guys.
Yeah. Pepsi. Don't give me a sponsorship, Anthony.
Don't worry, we'll get them.
Anyway, so Alex Pereira, I mean, we've already been talking about him. Y'all know about him. He's a Brazilian. He's a native Brazilian. He's indigenous to the land. No Spanish conquistador bullshit in his blood.
Hence why we had the, right?
Yeah, because it was supposed to be a parody for him. Because, I mean, what the indigenous tribes did, they always used the bow. What's Alex Pereira's thing when he walks down? He goes, mm-mm, mm-mm, mm-mm. Ah! And then he just does a 1, 2, 3, and then he walks down to the octagon. So, anyway. that was the whole Izzy play. That's what that for context. But he is an indigenous Brazilian, and this motherfucker, no Spanish conquistador bullshit in his blood, and or maybe he's mixed. I don't fucking know. But anyway.
Whatever he tells us, we'll believe, because we don't want to fight that dude.
I don't want to fight him. No. Alex Pereira's scary. He's one of the most decorated kickboxers that you'll ever meet. He's a 2-division champion in Glory Kickboxing. He could possibly be a 2-division champion in UFC. He already won one. Just got to win the other one now. But this guy is powerful. He is Izzy with more power. If we're to do his fighting style, he's Izzy but with more power. He does have that one-punch knockout power. Does Izzy? Not so much. On a good day, yeah.
He's knocked someone out, you know?
He's knocked 1 or 2 people out, but most of the time they were TKOs. Never out cold.
He's known for.
I mean, the only time it was out cold was with Pereira, but that one was personal, let's be honest. That one was personal. He had some steam behind that right, I know it. Might have loaded up a little bit. No, it was not a clean right. It was like a fucking wham! And that was I'm coming for your bloodline, bitch! Type of fucking... Anyway, so Pereira's got that Gaethje effect where he just has a left hook from hell and a good calf kick. So, you know, that's how he wins a lot of his fights. He has good leg kicks and he doesn't telegraph it at all. You cannot tell when Alex Pereira's about to throw that calf kick because he throws it so weird. Usually when you're doing it, you make your hips and your body come around so you hit him in the calf. Nah, he just kind of throws it. And not much turning. More in the leg movement. He doesn't use much hip. He uses more core to whip his leg around into your calf. It's very weird. And it's very, very hard to read. I've watched Pereira throw that calf kick a million times. And I'm like, how in the fuck does he do that? And like, I mean, that leg kick gave Izzy problems in their third fight. In the first MMA fight, it gave Izzy some problems. He did a whole fucking tumble sault backwards after he ate one of them. And, you know, this guy, he's got the calf kick, he's got the left hook from hell, and he's also one scary-looking motherfucker. The dude is stone-faced. The man has no emotion. He is as stoic as can be. And I'm like, he's just sent in here to fucking kill. And that's it. He's just sent in here to kill and go home. And if he doesn't do it, well, he just says, fuck it, I lost. Back on the saddle, I'm gonna go beat the next guy. And then... You know, and plus, now that he's been training with Glover Teixeira for a couple of years now, I can almost guarantee that his ground game's probably upgraded a lot. Glover Teixeira, you know, a good grappler. And speaking of Glover Teixeira is a former light heavyweight champion. He beat Ambolovich by a rear naked choke. And then he went into a 5-round war with our next contestant, which is Yuri Prochazka. And Yuri Prochazka and Glover Teixeira put on Fight of the fucking Year in 2022. I don't know how it didn't win it. It should have won it. It should. If you hadn't,
that was a war zone. If
you have not watched that fight, you have to. It's one of the greatest fights you'll ever see. It's one of the greatest light heavyweight championship fights. That and John Jones versus Alexander Gustafsson. Like, those are the 2 best light heavyweight championship fights you'll ever fucking see. And let's just say, Glover Teixeira, Yuri Prochazka locked in there. 5 rounds. They go to fucking war. It's back and forth. It's back and forth. Each man had their moments. Glover looked like he was winning towards the end. But then, unfortunately, he made a very big mistake after he wobbled Yuri Prochazka by jumping guillotine on him, therefore submitting to the bottom position and eventually getting himself choked out when he was 30 seconds away from defending his championship. Now, mind you, Alex Pereira was there at that fight. And knowing how petty Alex Pereira is, he's looking at Yuri Prochazka like, you beat my boy. You beat the guy. You beat my guy. I don't think I'm going to let that go real quick. I'm going to go finish off Israel Adesanya real fast. And then I'm coming for your ass. Right? With how petty Alex Pereira is, I can almost guarantee that's on his mind going into this fight. This guy beat my mentor, my training partner, my friend. I'm going to go kick his ass. I'm going to go kick his ass. Matter of fact, I wouldn't be surprised if Alex Pereira pulls his first submission win off just to do a rear naked choke on the person that rear naked choked his mentor. I would not be surprised. Do I think that's how it's going to play out? No. But would I be surprised if it happens? Absolutely not. because I know how petty Alex Pereira is. But anyway, enough about Alex Pereira. I've been talking him up a lot. We gotta talk about Yuri Prochazka. This guy's a fucking animal himself. This guy is fucking Viking persona. The dude trains in his woods with the fucking samurai sword, and he posts videos about it. The dude is... He calls himself the Octagon fucking Samurai. He says that he is the Samurai of the Octagon because he's such a warrior. And he goes in there, and he fights like a warrior. Dude, balls to the fucking wall. He's Michael Chandler if he had an ounce of a brain cell. And I love you, Michael Chandler. I'm sorry. He is Michael Chandler if he had a better fight IQ. And more of an unorthodox fighting style. Because that's how Yuri fights. If you want to see unorthodox striking and, like, as close as you can get to, like, traditional martial arts used inside a UFC octagon, it's Yuri Prochazka. He's got that wide karate stance. He's got that movement where he's just so odd. He's like, he just keeps fucking swaying around. He keeps bouncing back and forth like this. Like, he goes in there and he fights like a fucking samurai. And then he's got crazy power. The dude is so knowledgeable in his striking with everything. His arms, his legs, his fucking knees, his elbows, all of them are on point. And he has only one of, I think, 3 spinning elbow knockouts in UFC history. Again, he did it to Dominic Reyes. Rest in peace, Dominic Reyes. Holy shit, you've had such a fall from grace after you lost to John Jones when you shouldn't have lost to John Jones. But, it fucking ruined him, man. It fucking ruined him.
The product?
It fucking ruined him, man. Losing to John Jones in that close decision, he should have won that fight. And then he's just been losing ever since, and it's very sad. But still, the spinning elbow knockout that Yuri Prochazka gave to Dominic Reyes to get himself a title shot back in 2021, craziness. Like, the dude is so unorthodox with his striking. Like, he'll just throw a normal jab 1-2 combo at you, right? And then he throws like some kind of fucking tornado 360 kick. And I'm like, what the fuck? What the hell am I watching? But, you know, it's just, he just, you know, he beat Glover Teixeira and he became the champion. But unfortunately, pardon me. So, because that fight was so close and Glover was winning up until the very end, they scheduled a rematch for them later on in the year. 6 months later, in December. For, UFC 282. When, it was supposed to be Glover Teixeira versus Yuri Prochazka 2 for the light heavyweight championship. Unfortunately, Yuri Prochazka got by far the worst shoulder injury in the history of the UFC. According to UFC, of course, so. Was it the worst? There's some pretty bad shoulder injuries out there. I don't know how you can categorize one bad shoulder injury apart from another bad shoulder injury, but whatever. These are the words of Dana, not me. Worst shoulder injury in the history of UFC. Fight's canceled. Glover loses his shot. And then we got Jan Blachowicz and we got Magomed Ankalaev in the octagon together, and they fought to a draw. Still no champion. And in January in Brazil, Jamal Hill versus Glover Teixeira for the light heavyweight championship. Glover Teixeira gets beat by Jamal Hill, absolutely dominated by Jamal Hill, and then wins the belt. Jamal Hill, playing basketball one day, blew out his Achilles. Vacated that title. Here we are, in division without a champion. But that will be decided this Saturday. I can't even say that because they could fight to a draw. Just because I said that. Holy fuck. Guys, that's it. My whole fucking prediction out the window. Deuces. Ooses. Anyway, now, hopefully, we'll figure out who our champion's gonna be next fucking pay-per-view. And whoever wins this, if someone wins this, will face Jamal Hill. More than likely. And, yeah. That's what's going on with the light heavyweight division. Light heavyweight division has been a mess since John Jones left. Please restore order. Anyway, it's like the last time you'll ever hear me say that. But anyway, I got some keys to victory for both of these fighters. So with Prochazka, he's got to outstrike Pereira, because even though Pereira is a great striker, he's very accurate, very precise, right? Prochazka's got that volume. He can keep throwing, and when he keeps throwing, he's so powerful. Don't look past him. He's got power himself. I mean, Alex Pereira's just got more of it, but he's got power himself. And if he can outstrike Pereira, like outland him, and just not let him get that opportunity to make the read and throw that left hook or that straight right, it's going to be a good night for him. I'll be honest, if he can outstrike him, if he can stay lucid and keep moving, because Pereira's not really a movement fighter. He's kind of very...
I want to land one big one.
I want to land one big one, and I'm just waiting. And I'm just setting this up with the kicks, so you think I'm just going to keep throwing little leg kicks at you this whole fight. And then wham! Down you go. Pereira isn't much of a movement fighter. He's more of a counter striker. He's more of a counter power striker, should I say. More of a sniper. Doesn't take his... But you see, Yuri Prochazka's a fucking machine gun. He'll keep going. And if he... And you can be mobile... I shouldn't say he's a machine gun. He's an assault rifle. He can put so many rounds per minute downrange. And he can keep moving. You can keep moving with him. Right? If he can stay lucid, keep moving, and just outland Pereira... Not even saying that every single shot has to have fighting intentions. Which they probably will be. It's Yuri Prochazka. But, he doesn't have to, and he just needs to avoid that left side, I'm pretty sure. If he does not sway himself into Pereira's left hook, I think it could be a very good night for Prochazka.
So avoid taking damage and give damage?
Pretty much. Pretty much. You'd be surprised.
What you want to do most fights?
You know, most of the time that's what you want to do. But I think, the ultimate counter to a counter striker is a movement striker. So, honestly, stylistically, these two are opposite as far as striking is concerned. I mean, they're both strikers, don't get me wrong. Not that bad.
But they both strike with different techniques.
They both strike with different techniques. Prochazka is a movement fighter. And Alex Pereira is a power fighter and a sniper. He's very counter-strikey. But you see, if you can't catch the person that you're trying to counter-strike, your counter-strikes are worthless and he's going to outpoint you. But here's the fucking thing. Pereira is still Pereira. He's not blind when it comes to movement. He beat Izzy, who is high movement and defensive. I mean, granted, they're both defensive fighters. Both not Prochazka, Pereira and Izzy. But Izzy keeps moving. He gauged Izzy's movements. He made the reads and he beat Izzy. 3 times. 3 times. And if he can gauge Adesanya's movement, he can gauge Prochazka's. And he can catch on to it. Might take him a little bit longer because of how unorthodox Prochazka is. But if he can usually use his jab to set him to, maybe even use his right. Try to get him to slip off to, avoid his right. Or maybe if he just throws just a straight cross and tries to lure him to that left side, then he can totally just set up traps. He can use his jab to lure him more to the left side, and then bam, cut an angle, and just boom, right down the fucking pipe, and then that's it. Prochazka's Dunyan rings. And also, if I'm be honest though, I think Pereira should avoid the ground because Prochazka's very good with grappling. He can grapple. He doesn't care he won the fight by submission against a grappler. So, he can grapple, and he's got very good defense. But so does Pereira. I don't see this fight going to the ground, though, if I'm going to be honest. I think they're both going to bang. And it's either going to last only 1 fucking round, or it's going to go all 5. And it's just going to be a war the whole time. But if I'm going to be honest, I think, even though I've given Prochazka the perfect blueprint to beat Alex Pereira, I still think Pereira is going to find a way to land his power. And I think Pereira is going to walk away with a knockout or a TKO. But I'll be honest, guys, if you want my personal bias, I want Prochazka to win. But, that's me. Anthony, what you got?
For me, I'm going to give this to Prochazka. Is that how it's pronounced?
Prochazka, yep.
I feel like he knows what he's doing more and will be able to get a better read on the situation, take control of it faster than Pereira will be able to keep track of. But Pereira could definitely knock him out. I don't see this going to decision.
Oh, me neither.
Someone is getting knocked out.
And someone's going down in an earlier round. I had to make a Fall Out Boy reference at least once on this channel. Anyway, so that's what I got. We got Sergey for the heavyweight championship, and then we got Prochazka for the light heavyweight championship. Anthony's in. I really can't even say my prediction for the interim heavyweight championship. I want Aspinall to win, but I'm very doubtful about Aspinall winning. I think I might actually have to go back on my word. I think.
Well, keep in mind we didn't put our chips on Strickland.
No, we did not. We did not put our chips on Strickland. We were looking all the way past Strickland. We were looking all the way past him. Oh, it was an easy title defense for Izzy.
What's
Wait a minute. What happened? Ruh-roh.
So we are just commentators. We are not analytics. I looked at our notes for the last ones.
Everyone that we predicted to win lost.
Yeah.
Unfortunately, this is MMA, so anything can
happen. Our biases will interfere.
Mm-hmm. And let's be honest, our biases for the Volkanovski card were very, very apparent, and we got so disappointed when we saw Volk get flatlined 3 minutes into the fight. Some bullshit like that.
I mean, they had a nice lunch the next day, right?
They did have a nice lunch the next day. I gotta say that was very respectful, the two of them. But everybody that we wanted to win and predicted to win lost. So that was by far our worst performance. Let's hope this one's better. And, of course, maybe these podcasts in the future will get a little bit more data behind them. But, guys, we're commentators. We're going to have some biases. Yeah. And y'all know who our favorite fighters are. So, by this point, or at least you know mine. And, it's just going to be, it's just how it's going to be. And, we're very open about the bias here. You can call us fucking crazy, but shit, that's just how it goes.
Everyone else had Strickland for that, didn't they? Even though he wasn't really supposed to be.
Honestly, that was supposed to be Duplessis' fight.
Yeah, it was.
That was supposed to be Duplessis' fight, but his arm went ouchie ouch. And
then we got a new champion.
And then Strickland went in there and said, fuck it. Everybody thinks I'm going to lose. I think I can win. I'm going to go in there. I'm going to fight this guy. Worst comes to worst, I lose. So what? Everybody expected me to lose. But best comes to best. I beat him. And I'm the champion. And then that leads to what we got this week, because we have MMA news that we got to give you guys, and then we're going to get the fuck out of here because we're already over the hour.
I just want to make one notice there. So, this is just in the MMA world. Strickland went in as a replacement. Didn't Usman
go in
also
as a replacement?
And didn't also frickin' what was the other match that one?
Volkanovski was last minute.
Yeah. Lots of last minutes.
Well, I mean, it wasn't last minute for Strickland. Here's the thing. Duplessis injured his arm.
Yeah, he was the backup. No,
it wasn't even that. It was just so Duplessis injured his arm after he beat Robert Whittaker, which that was fucking nuts. Robert Whittaker losing to someone that wasn't Israel Adesanya. That's like what? That's like Max Holloway losing to fucking Ilia Topuria, or Calvin Kattar, which he did not lose to Calvin Kattar. He destroyed Calvin Kattar. But he was supposed to be the next one in line, and he realized he injured his arm during the fight, and then he went out, and then Dana was like, "Fuck, that was the fight we were gonna make. We're gonna do Izzy versus Duplessis. Now I gotta go back to the drawing board, and I gotta try to find everybody that I can possibly get. I can't get Robert Whittaker. He just lost. That wouldn't make any sense. I gotta give it to Strickland. So then he gave it to Strickland. Strickland had a full camp going into the Izzy fight. So, I mean, it was supposed to be Duplessis' spot, but just timing was not right, and Strickland shocked the world, to say the least. But we ain't taking shit away from him.
Oh, hell no.
Absolutely not.
Well earned.
He beat the fuck out of Izzy.
That kind of was like taking candy from a baby.
It was.
Just a little bit.
That would be taking candy from a baby. We all thought you were going to lose. Good on you. You fucking beat him. You beat the modern day fucking Anderson Silva. For real. But anyway, speaking of Mr. Shawnee Strickland, We got some MMA news this week. Uncle Dana went back in the kitchen and started cooking up for 2024. Since 2023 is rounding out, we have pay-per-views through the end of the year. Everybody's booked. No last-minute replacements, hopefully. And
pretty sure he's got Walter White in on this one.
He gave the outline for the first 4 fights. I'll go as far to say 4 pay-per-views for next year, 2024. Excuse me. January. We got Shawnee Strickland, our newly minted middleweight champion. He's going up to Toronto, Canada, to face South African native. Thank you, Dracus du Plessis, who's coming off of a big win over Robert Whittaker. We were just discussing about that.
Yes, we were.
And now they're both fighting because Izzy said, I lost. I'm gonna go peace out for a bit. Let this division move on without me. I'll be back. I don't expect to see Izzy back for another year, at least. And honestly, I think that's a better move for him because he's been headlining pay-per-views. He's been clutching up pay-per-views. He's been a very, very reliable worker for the past, 4 years. And, it's good fighting 3-4 times a year, with the exception of 2021. He only fought twice that year. But, regardless, you still have more than one fight in a year. Islam. Anyway.
Oh,
yeah.
It's always you with these guys who don't tend to be active. That you don't tend to show the respect to.
You still beat my boy, though. I can't take that away from you. I can't take that away from you. Me saying that just makes me look ridiculous. Anyway.
Well, it is ridiculous. His demands that he fight in Saudi. Next, does he have more demands?
Oh, no. He's just I only fight in Saudi.
So he'll only fight in Saudi?
I mean, he went to Perth, Australia, purely because Khabib wanted him to go.
Yeah.
And I'm like, he fights once a fucking year, man. Anyway. That's the past. That's the past.
I mean, still current champ.
Still the current champ. And still beat Volkanovski.
That's our current present we're living in. We might get one fight.
Might get one fight. Anyway. So we got Strickland, du Plessis slated for January. Nothing's confirmed. Actually, no, I think it is pretty much confirmed. I think they both agreed on this. This is the one that I know is probably going to happen. But the ones that aren't confirmed, but are in the workings and are probably in the final negotiations, are these next 2 coming up. So, we already went over January. 297. Wait. That math doesn't add up. No. This is 295. Next one's 296. 297. Oh, yep, I was right. Yeah. So 297, du Plessis and Strickland. I'm 99.99999% sure that fight's going to happen. I think they both agreed on it. They just got to sign the contract now. And then at UFC 298, Volkanovski's coming back after getting knocked the fuck out by Islam Makhachev in his second bid to become lightweight champion. Which, I mean...
He comes from the land down under.
He comes from the land down under. He've eaten them Vegemite sandwiches. I don't know what the fuck they put in those things, but whatever they're putting in them, they're making a fucking killer. Anyway, then he's going against Ilia Topuria, who's been on an absolute tear as of late. Just beat Josh Emmett not that long ago. Hang on, let me look at his most recent wins, just so you can know how scary this dude is. Ilia Topuria, where are your stats? He's 5'7", bro. He's the same height as me.
You can take him.
And he destroys people. He's 14-0.
You can take him.
No, I can't. He's from Georgia. The country, not the state.
Oh, fuck. The country?
Yeah.
In the former Russian territory?
Yeah. Home of Rasputin.
Yeah.
And Volk just lost to a Dagestani Russian. Well, let's be honest. Dagestan, there's something in the water there. Well, Georgia?
I mean, that's where Stalin came from.
Yeah.
But.
The thunder from down under!
We're not taking anything away from Volk, because he went into that last fight, short notice. You said he had to move up a weight to take that fight, too.
Yes.
He's going to be fighting at weight, which, has he been defeated?
At featherweight, no.
Yeah.
At featherweight, no, he's untouchable.
Not saying that he can't be defeated.
Ilia Topuria could very much beat him.
It's just, we're not going to cut him down because he lost that fight to fucking goddamn Islam, you know?
He lost to Islam. He's the second coming of Habib. Do you expect anything less out of Islam Makhachev? Let's be honest. I may shit on him a lot, but God, I got respect for the guy. But as much as I root against him. Anyway.
Well, you root against Khamzat more. I mean, cough.
Khamzat Chimaev.
That was a
Khamzat Chimaev. Khamzat Chimaev. And so, Ilia Topuria has been scary. He's undefeated. He's 14-0.
Fun fact: everyone's undefeated until they're defeated.
This is facts. And then he just beat Josh Emmett, who just fought for an interim title back in February of this year against Yair Rodriguez. Came up short, triangle choked, but still, valiant effort from Josh Emmett. Josh Emmett also beat Calvin Kattar. That's another big name. I don't think he beat Calvin Kattar. But he beat Calvin Kattar officially, but in my brain, which is arguably the better opinion.
Well, I mean, it's all up for debate. Like, we all know my personal feelings with Mike Bell. You suck. How did you score that 10-8?
I don't know, man.
Sense.
Hey, man.
You literally got all of Nevada in trouble. They had to get all the goddamn refs so that you could go over what the fuck a 10-8 is.
Yeah.
There was some other ones. Jan, wasn't he robbed recently?
Peter Yan?
Yeah.
Peter Yan, he got fucking ragdolled in his last fight against Merab.
Who did
But he did get
fight?
Pimblett fought. Not Jared Gordon. Oh no, Jared Gordon. Yeah, he fought Jared Gordon, and he shouldn't have won that fight.
Yeah, he shouldn't have won.
He lost that fight. Patty, you're getting slept by Tony Ferguson. I don't care.
Yeah, seriously, you're doomed. That guy's legs. He's probably kicking phone balls right now. But didn't Petro Yan get robbed one of these? Like
Sean O'Malley. Yeah, Sean O'Malley. But
so I mean, that's three that I can think of, and I don't even pay as close attention. I'm there for all of them, but I don't keep as close attention. But I know when there's robbery, and those are all robberies.
So anyway, Josh Emmett, he just beat Josh Emmett. Just fought for an interim title back in February. That's a big win. That's a huge win. And then he gave the first defeat to Bryce Mitchell. And Bryce Mitchell was undefeated until he fought Ilia Topuria. Topuria submitted him in the second. This dude has looked unstoppable. He's ruthless, and the pure attitude that he brings into the octagon is so impactful. You just feel it. But here's the thing. Volk is Volk.
Yeah. Volk is indeed Volk.
Volk is Volk. So we'll see what happens with that one, but I will be honest, I've never been more scared for Alexander Volkanovski against a featherweight than I am right now. But it'll be a good fight.
Even one of the many Max Holloway fights?
Yep. To be honest, he just has Max Holloway's number. I don't think Max Holloway's ever going to beat Volkanovski. To be honest, I don't think Max Holloway's ever going to beat Volkanovski. He just has to pray that Volk gets beat one day, and then he can go and beat that guy. But
so that Volk can beat him again?
Just so Volk could beat him again. But, fucking, I don't know, man. I've never been more scared than I am right now for Volk. Against Ilia Topuria, plus coming off, that was a pretty big loss on Volkanovski's end. But then again, yes, it was on 10 days' notice. It was quick, and that's a little humiliating. But he's Volk. I bet you he's in the gym just swinging at a bag right now.
I mean, even if you say that it's humiliating, there's the other side of that where it's driving him to perform better than the next one. I mean, it was a first-round knockout. He didn't sustain too much damage. Overall, obviously, it was really one shot that got him down.
That head kick was beautiful.
Yeah, it was an awesome move. I'm not saying anything against that, but it's not going to be something that's going to... I don't think it will affect him too much going forward.
Yep, so that's for February, and actually, it looks like it is confirmed. It's on ESPN, and I think ESPN's a good source to know when fights are confirmed. So ESPN's got it confirmed, so I'm going to say that that's actually happening. And then in March, UFC 299, right before the big one, UFC 300, Sean O'Malley versus Chito Vera. This is the worst fucking booking decision. I mean, this is a great fight, don't get me wrong. This is the worst booking decision from a competition standard that you could ever fucking make. I'm going to be honest. Sean O'Malley knocks out Aljamain Sterling. Wow, big whoop, TKO, right? Won the belt. I wanted him to win the belt. Maybe the stoppage was early, but fuck it. Sean O'Malley won, and I'm happy. I got my sugar shirt upstairs. I'll wear it on the next podcast, maybe. And so
next podcast is going to be about Winston getting back together. We're going to be down here.
Bye, bye, bye.
We're down in a sugar show shirt. Just like, yeah.
Yeah. Anyway, so Sean O'Malley wins the belt. Fair, square. He calls out Cheeto Vera, just happens to fight on that card the same night, and beats Pedro Munoz. I don't think he beat Pedro Munoz. I honestly think they gave that to Cheeto with hopes that O'Malley would win, so that O'Malley would call him out, because because that's the only person that O'Malley has lost to in UFC is officially. Peter got the better of him, but officially in UFC he's only been beat by one guy, and it was Cheeto Vera after he got his leg kick checked and he fell to the ground with a bad leg. He got dead legged, and yeah, that's that. But here's the thing: Cheeto Vera beat Pedro Munoz, journeyman Pedro Munoz, and he struggled against him. He did nothing. He didn't struggle, but he did nothing. Pedro Munoz did a lot more. And then, well, O'Malley happened to win the belt and call him out. So, of course, UFC being UFC is like, yeah, let's do that fight. And when fucking Cheeto Vera got 50-45 by Corey Sandhagen earlier this year. If you want to ask me something, hang on, bud. So yeah, that's the fight that got confirmed for UFC 299, and it's honestly the worst fucking decision that the UFC could have made, but it makes the most money, so it makes complete and total sense. And
the almighty dollar
rules the world. And then lastly, UFC 300 looks like it's gonna happen in April. And when did Mr. Conor McGregor hop back into the testing pool? October. Was 6 months after October, April. So
I knew he'd be on the 300.
Looks like Conor McGregor is going to be fighting on UFC 300. All signs are pointing to this. Nothing's confirmed. Nothing's speculated.
He's going to be on 300.
He's going to be on 300. There's no way he's not going to be.
There's
no way he's not going to be.
That could probably change, but it's definitely going to be 300.
Nah, it's going to be Chandler. But we already talked about this before, but it looks like UFC 300 is Conor's return, and why would they keep Michael Chandler at number 5 when he hasn't fought in a year? So Conor McGregor can face a top 5 opponent in main event of UFC 300. I wouldn't be surprised if there are title fights that are underneath Conor for this, because Conor is Conor. Of course, Conor's gonna get the main event. When does Conor not get the main event?
Dude, I'm pretty sure he could. That if it was 300 and he was in a full body cast, it would still roll him into the octagon. Just and here he is,
Conor McGregor, as he's fucking just. Anyway, so it looks like that's gonna be Conor's return date, and it looks like this is because they still got Michael Chandler ranked at number 5, even though he hasn't fought in a year. Michael Chandler. Anyway.
You're making his list of people who aren't active fighters.
I like you, Michael Chandler. Don't make the list. Anyway, so it looks like Conor McGregor versus Michael Chandler will headline UFC 300. That is money upon money upon money, 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 money.
With a new testing pool starting next year too, right?
Yep. And it looks like that's going to be the headliner. Also, Dustin Poirier has confirmed that he's going to be on the UFC 300 card. So we'll see who he fights. I don't know who he's going to fucking fight. I don't know what fight you can make for him. I mean, his ideal fight right now is a trilogy with Gaethje, but Gaethje should be next in line for a title shot, even though it looks like they might give it to Oliveira. Which also would make sense, but I mean, Gaethje knocked out Poirier. And,
what if we see, a Gaethje Oliveira fight?
We could see Gaethje Oliveira. I mean, these fights are still being confirmed. We don't know what the co-main and featured fights are going to be for these cards. We just know the main events. And we just know Dustin Poirier's speculation that he just tweeted out, no context, UFC 300. So something tells me he's in talks for an appearance at UFC 300. Which, of course, I'm going to root for my boy. Whether or not he can win or not, I'm still going to root for my boy. I don't care who it's against. Dustin, you're my guy. So, that's UFC 300 shaping up to look pretty good. I can almost guarantee you there will be title fights that are underneath McGregor.
We're gonna have freaking Gaethje, Poirier, fucking.
I wouldn't be surprised if they rolled Islam out for this
Michael.
one.
Goddamn.
I wouldn't.
McGregor.
You know what I think the co-main event for this should be? Because obviously it's not going to main event, even though it would deserve a main event.
Greggy's main event.
Greggy's main eventing. Honestly, you make the main event of UFC, the co-main event of UFC 300, either Islam versus Gaethje or Islam versus Oliveira. Just so you can see who's going to win that lightweight belt. And then next up is Conor McGregor. And if there's anybody in the top 5 UFC lightweight fighters right now that Conor McGregor can knock out, it's Michael Chandler. Everybody else would destroy him. But the one person that he can knock out in the top 5 is Michael Chandler. Chandler, don't fuck up. But also...
he leaves his brain outside the cage.
Oh, man. There's the one person in the UFC lightweight top 5 right now, the glamour division of the UFC, that he can knock out is Michael Chandler. So they gave him the most winnable fight. Despite, I can't even use the argument that Chandler's been more active because he hasn't. And he hasn't fought. He's waiting for McGregor. He wants that McGregor payday, which, I'll be honest, I'd want that McGregor payday too. So I can't blame Chandler for that, but I can also be like, why aren't you fighting? You have to beat this guy. And to beat this guy, you need to fight more people. When you fight more people, you will get more fights. When you have more fights, you have more experience. And you have more of an advantage going against somebody that hasn't fought in 2 years because his leg went snap. But he hasn't fought. I can't even use that Chandler's more active. And it looks more...
Headlining UFC 300. You have McGregor, catchweight, versus Stephen Russo.
Dude, I'm getting slapped. Dude, I'll happily take a left from McGregor. I'll be honest. You're
Think
painting.
about it. You want the payday.
Mm-hmm.
They're looking for someone for Greggy to beat. If it works, it works.
Fuck it, put me in there with Conor McGregor. I'll just run around in circles until McGregor catches me with a left hand. As I'm going down, with my last thought before I'm separated from my consciousness will be 10 milli, baby.
That song, I'm so paid. As you fall
I'm so paid. As I fall to the ground, unconscious, concussed,
3
dead.
months later, you'll enjoy the paycheck.
But I'm out here, as I'm going down, my last conscious thought before I'm in a coma for 3 months. I'm so fucking paid. As I go down with a McGregor left hand. I will happily eat a McGregor left hand if I get 10 million out of it. But, anyway, UFC 300 looks exciting. I got high expectations for it. Despite me shit-talking Conor McGregor, I actually like Conor McGregor, guys.
Yeah, it's fine. We went over this with them before. The audience knows we're just haters. He's our favorite guy to hate. You need haters to make it exciting.
That's why Colby Covington exists.
Exactly.
That's the next pay-per-view, by the way. Leon Edwards versus Colby Covington. For the
awesome. So long as it's not Salt Lake City.
Headshot dead! It's Salt Lake City. Headshot dead!
A fucking knockout. It just keeps appearing.
Knockout, man. It's the Salt Lake City head kick. It's become a tradition at this point. Happens with Leon Edwards, 2022. Happens with Justin Gaethje in July 2023. It's just a Salt Lake City head kick. It's going to live on.
That's the new move.
It's the new move. The fake cross with the rear high kick.
Yep.
That's the meta, guys. Fuck the calf kick. It is the fake cross into high kick. That is the new meta. But anyway, that'll wrap it up for this episode, guys. Thank you so much for tuning in. Of course, go and follow us on our fucking socials.
It was awesome spending time with you.
Of course it was. Leave some suggestions in the comments below.
Seriously, if you want that whole NSYNC getting back together thing,
we'll totally do it.
Seriously.
I will show up and I will sing bye 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 for you.
If you want like animated reviews,
let us know. Let us know up in those comments.
We look for things to do, honestly.
Yeah, because
you're guaranteed, a pay-per-view from us here. Mm-hmm. But we are looking for other things to do.
You're guaranteed.
Got Linkin Park to finish too.
We do have Linkin Park to finish.
But
yeah, we do got Linkin Park to finish. Drop some shit in the comments. If you're shit talking me, cool. At least you're giving me attention.
Hey,
and
haters are needed.
Haters are needed. We just said it. And if y'all hate me, y'all dislike the video, that's cool. You're still interacting with it in one way.
Yep.
Oh, excuse me.
I would appreciate it if you didn't dislike it. Maybe just when you share to others about how bad it is, you can just do that instead of the dislikes. But whatever you do, man.
Either way, we still get attention, guys. So, I mean, who's actually going to win here?
Literally, your attention is the most valuable thing that we could use.
Exactly. So, yeah, go follow us on all of our socials. Our Instagram is front_row_access. Go and follow that shit. We upload clips of the podcast on there. All of my promo videos before the episodes are on there. And, of course, go and follow our TikTok account, which we're also posting segments on there now. And, here on YouTube, Front Row Access Podcast, hit that fucking red. I don't like when it's red. I want it white. And,
of course, any Prime or...
of course, any Prime
sponsorships,
Prime or Mountain Dew. I'll market both of you guys. I don't care. And, of course, if you have any suggestions that you want, any videos you want to send in, frontrowaccess15@gmail.com. Go ahead and send us some clips, a couple of Q&As. Maybe we'll do Q&As at the end of this shit if you just send them in through the email. And then, of course, as always, like and subscribe. Go follow us here on YouTube. We're also on Spotify. We are more marketing to YouTube, though. And, anyway... Thank y'all for tuning in. I know this was a little bit longer than I wanted it to be, but we have gone longer, so accept it. Anyway, so until then, guys, deuces.
Peace.
Ooses.